What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back to another video. Alright, in this video, I want to give my thoughts and opinions about the Jesse Williams situation, right? This has been going on for a minute, and basically the situation is Jesse Williams is divorcing his wife, and apparently is dating his co-star in an upcoming movie by the name of Minka Kelly. Alright. And some people in the, pro-black sector especially were like, well, I don't know, they felt some type of a way about that because they felt like basically he left his black wife for a white woman. And he's, supposedly this pro-black guy, pro-black man, talking all this pro-black stuff. And they're like, well, are you really pro-black? Pro-black? Alright, so I'm going to give my thoughts about this, alright? The way I see this is, I don't think that, okay. The things that Jesse Williams has said in the past are still valid despite him doing this. He may or may not have been doing this. So far, this is all alleged. We don't have any proof for sure, for certain. No one has spoken up about it. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that the rumors are true. But again, these are rumors, alleged, not for sure. But for this video, we're going to assume that they're true. All right. So he left his wife for Minka Kelly, right? I feel like what he has said in the past is still valid despite that, but I can understand people feeling some type of a way about that, because they're like, well, why would you go over to white women, But the thing is, Jesse Williams never said that he hated white people. Even though some white people kind of took his speech at the BET Awards that way. But he's never, I don't think Jesse Williams hates white people or views white people as, I guess, a group of people that he shouldn't deal with. And again, I think that's because of the influence of his white mom, right? Because Jesse Williams is biracial. He has a white mom and a black dad. That makes a difference. I think Jesse Williams can still do what he's been doing for the community, with, I guess, his white girlfriend. But I can understand some people feeling some type of a way about that because a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes when it comes to like pro-black men, a lot of times they seem to talk all this pro-black stuff, but when it comes down to who you want to, marry and have kids with, all of a sudden, the pro-black stuff seems to go out the window. And I can understand black women feeling some type of a way about that because it's like we all down and pro-black up until you got to choose someone to settle down with and to have a relationship with, to marry, to have kids with. All of a sudden, like, it ain't so pro-black no more. Like, what happened? Like, what happened in that situation? Why did that happen, right? And this could have happened either way, with a monoracial black man or a biracial black man. Either way, really, I think if it was a monoracial black man, people would be going even harder at him. Because I do think that, light-skinned people, especially biracial folks, do kind of have some privilege when it comes to who they can get away with dating, versus monoracial black folks who don't seem to have that same privilege, right? People are more critical about who dark-skinned people date than who light-skinned people date. I'm not quite sure why that is, though, but I guess the white parent has something to do with it, or perhaps even the idea of someone having a white parent, because sometimes the person has two black parents. Um, but to bring it back to Jesse Williams, I think that for me personally, I'm like, okay, all right. It seems a little weird, it's a little odd. But let's say if he left his black wife for another black woman who was darker skinned and divorced his wife for her, would we be feeling the same way? Let's say if he left his wife for like Serena Williams or Kelly Rowland, Viola Davis, Lupita, are just women who look like them. Would we feel some type of a way about that? I guess we might. Some people might even be celebrating that. Like, okay, Jesse really down. Especially the women. You know, they might be celebrating that. Like, okay, Jesse really about this pro-black life now. He done switched in his light bright wife for a black queen. But they're like, oh wait a minute, because he ain't switched her in for a black queen. He switched her in for, the Snow Queen, right? Rebecca. And they're like, wait a minute now, wait a minute. Um, and I guess I'm probably not the best person to be even talking about this, but I just wanted to give my opinions on it. I think probably black women should be talking about this a bit more, because it seems like that's probably the group that's probably the most like taken aback by it. But sadly, this isn't anything new. Sadly, for black women, have been through this so many times as a collective. You know, but there are black men who are pro-black and do have black spouses. Excuse me. There are. Do you think the response would be a little different if Jesse Williams was not biracial, but maybe just, light skinned, quote unquote? Like having two black parents, but just being light skinned? Do you think people would respond a little differently if it was that? Maybe respond a little harsher, or a little more strongly about it? And, some people are, were saying in the section, like, oh, well, it's not like his wife was the blackest woman in existence anyway. Like, she's not the blackest black woman. And that's true. She's not. She's more or less the same skin tone as him. But black women accepted it, though. It was like, okay, you got a black wife. Okay, all right. And then some people have criticized the way that his wife looks, saying that she doesn't really look good, I guess my personal opinion, I think she's, okay, basic. I don't think she's like ugly, I just think when it comes to Jesse's wife, she is just one of those women who don't really, engage in like beauty culture and really puts a lot of thought into like what she wears and her makeup and her hair, things like that. I don't think she's that type of a woman who's about that stuff. So I think that plays a part in it too. And also, as far as like the fitness, again, probably just not that type of a woman, right? But if she was, I think she would probably have a, be more into the beauty standard, right? She would just fit into the beauty standard a lot more, right? But I guess to sum it up, Should Jesse continue to do the things he's been doing for the community if these rumors are true? I think he should, you know. I think he should, but I think some people may feel like, well, is it really authentic? Is he just saying that, doing this stuff for some other reason? But you know, ultimately, I feel like what he said is still valid, whether or not he's with Mika Kelly. The things that he do can help to bring awareness to issues. So, him speaking up about police brutality and, the unfair treatment of black people in society, I think those are still valid coming from him. So I think he should continue to do those things and probably even go even a little bit harder in doing those things. You know? um, I guess, and I guess this comes down to like who can be pro-black, right? Who can be pro-black? Who can be considered pro-black? I know the YouTube user Cynthia G has talked about this before and how people oftentimes want to say like she's not pro-black because like she wears weave or she wears makeup, you know, she doesn't look a certain way, her hair is not natural, etc., right? And she says that she's never referred to herself as pro-black. She just does her. She does her, right? And I kind of feel like, with me personally, I'm more or less like the same way. Like, um, as far as like pro-black is concerned, like if someone referred to me as pro-black, I wouldn't deny the label, but at the same time, I wouldn't label myself as pro-black because people have a certain idea of what pro-blackness is, and a lot of times those people's ideas, like I don't fit into those ideas, and then it becomes like an argument and a back and forth, and then that conversation takes over you know the takes over the attention and takes the attention away from issues that we really need to be discussing. So to avoid becoming a spectacle and a distraction, me personally, I don't refer to myself as pro-black, and I just, I don't consider myself not pro-black, but I just, because of the way people define it, I would just not refer to myself as that. But if someone referred to me as that, I would be like, okay, thanks. Like, oh wow, cool, thanks. I wouldn't deny it, right? So the idea is, who is pro-black? Could Jesse be pro-black before and after this? Who can be pro-black? I think that is the ultimate question, right? Well, I've gone on for long enough, but I guess maybe I should answer that question. I guess my personal answer. Okay. I think anyone can be pro-black, honestly. Because it's a mentality, but some people say that it's a look and a mentality, which I can understand. But at the end of the day, um, there's black people who can be anti-black. Black people who can, excuse me, black people who can support white supremacy. So on the flip side, I think it could be the same thing. But I think with black people, I think we're a little more skeptical and a little more suspicious of people who claim pro-blackness and they're not who don't have a certain look to them, because they're like, okay, what are you trying to, like, what's your aim? Like, what you trying to get? Like, what are you after? What's your deal? And I think that's just because black people have been so used as a group and as a collective that we're just like, are you another user just trying to come through the community and take and snatch away from us? So Um, Again, my personal opinion, I think ultimately anyone could be pro-black as long as you have that mentality, you know, an honest mentality of pro-blackness. Um, you know, but I understand where people are coming from with as far as like, you know, having, I guess, a look to correspond to it though. Because I think the look makes people less suspicious, right? So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Adios and goodbye for now.